Hello, welcome to Tomorrow again. Please thumbs up this video, subscribe to this channel if you haven't already subscribed, and share this video with whoever you feel like sharing it with. First of all, you guys, I know I'm using this my cell phone camera, and I understand that it's vertical, and I apologize. I just wanted to get this information to you guys as soon as I could. Also, if you look in the background here, those are my Mother's Day flowers from my kids. Aren't they beautiful? I had to, I guess I had to show them off. I had a great Mother's Day, and I am hoping that you guys had good Mother's Day as well, a positive day. And for all the ones don't who don't have a mother, or for all the mothers who have lost a child, or for everyone that has lost someone that they looked at as a mother, or they felt that person was a mother to them, or someone that you may have admired from afar that is a mother figure, and you've lost. To all of those who have lost their mother, their grandmother, their aunt, their child, I understand that this time of the year can be very challenging emotionally. It's not the same for everyone. And that's one of the reasons I don't put a lot of validity into certain holidays, into really any holidays. It's just my personal preference. But my kids felt inclined to give me flowers. I love flowers, and I would accept them any time of the year. So I wanted to send love and light to those that are having a difficult time. Anyone, like I said, anyone that has lost their mother or mother figure, or anyone that has lost a child. These are very challenging times. I know from experience. I've lost my mother, my grandmother, my child, my oldest son. I lost him back in 2009, and it is very difficult to deal with certain times of the year. So I can definitely sympathize with anyone out there that has suffered a loss, and they're trudging through this holiday. Having said that, I want to talk to you guys today about a girl who has been missing for 20 years. Her name is Asha Degree. And I'm going to try to give you a synopsis, sort of a backstory, before I give you my intuitive thoughts as to what happened to Asha Degree. If you guys aren't familiar with Asha, as I said, I'm going to give you just a quick, brief synopsis, and there, you can find information about her and her disappearance just everywhere. All you really have to do is Google her name, and you can find information. But as I said, she went missing when she was 9 years old. She was last seen in her bed, in her bedroom. And apparently, from her parents' own words, Aisha was very sort of skittish. She was very sheltered. She wasn't a worldly child. Lived in a rural area in a town near Greensboro, North Carolina. I hope I'm not messing this up. I briefly read some information about this case, and then I watched a couple of videos just to familiarize myself. Back to the story. Aisha's father went to work, and probably about midnight, he came home from work, and apparently left to go get Valentine's candy because him and his wife's anniversary was the following day, Valentine's Day. And so he went to get the candy. He came back, and about 2 o'clock in the morning, he went into the room and he checked on Aisha and her brother. They both shared a room, and at one point, he saw her. She was there. She was appeared to be sleeping. And the brother who slept in the same room as her, he reported that he heard some squeaking sounds from his sister's bed, but he didn't bother to look. He just, I think, assumed that she had gotten up and went to the bathroom. Um, and she was seen in the doorway going to the bathroom. Um, there was a thunderstorm this particular night, and Aisha was afraid of thunderstorms. She had lots of fears. She was afraid of dogs. She was afraid of the dark. Just in other ways, she was a typical 9-year-old girl. She enjoyed basketball. I believe she was on the basketball team at school. She was very active in that and had a lot of her emotions tied up into playing basketball. About 6:45, 5:45, I believe it was, in the morning, Aisha's mother went to wake her and her brother up so that they could take their bath. They didn't take their bath the night before because there was a thunderstorm. And some people are that way, they don't take baths when there's a storm. I don't know. I'm kind of cautious myself because I had a pretty scary experience doing that. So I can understand why the mother, Aisha's mother, wouldn't allow them to take the bath the night of the thunderstorm. So she woke both of them up the following morning, which I'm assuming was February 14th, the mom and dad's anniversary. And she noticed that Aisha was not in the bed. She was nowhere in the house. They searched the house. They searched part of the neighborhood. And I believe Aisha's grandmother lived across the street from them. It was Aisha's, I don't know if it was the mother's mother or the father, but her grandmother lived across the street and she hadn't seen Aisha. Um, and to this day, as I said, that was 20 years ago. And to this day, no one has seen her. Now, eventually, I think about an hour after she was discovered to be missing, the parents called the police and reported her missing. And they searched the neighborhood. They even searched the house. They searched everywhere that they could. There were some people, though, that claimed that they had saw who they thought was Aisha that night. During the thunderstorm, they saw a little girl walking up the highway, and one motorist even attempted to say something to her, like, "What are you doing out here this late?" And did sort of a Yui. And as he did that, he said that the little girl ran into the woods. Now, I sometimes I get little pings, little feelings when something's not right, and that's one thing that doesn't sound right to me. That he did that and she ran into the woods. And some of those sightings that claim they saw Aisha, I don't know. I'm not quite sure if they were mistaken or maybe it was her. But I decided I wanted to get some insight onto this case. I started to do a tarot card reading and I still might do one in the future. But I did sort of a intuitive writing. And I'll insert a clip here of me writing and seeing if I could intuitively figure out what happened to Aisha. And then after I did that, I decided to do a little bit of time traveling in my mind. And then this is something that I've only done a couple of times, maybe 6 or 7 times, and the accuracy was pretty good. So I thought I'd give it a try. I took myself back to February 13th, 14th, and I sort of imagined myself as a 9-year-old child talking to Asha. And I asked her intuitively in my mind, what happened? She showed me that she was lying in the bed on her back and there was something in her lap. It seemed like it could have been a candy or or flowers. It was something fragrant that was she had in the bed with her, and it was laying on her lap. And then she sat up and she said, I'll tell you what happened, but don't tell anybody. So at that point, I thought, well, I'm trying to get this information to share it so that we can find her. And in my mind's eye, she was so innocent and so much wanting me to, she was wanting to tell me. But at that point, I sort of stopped because I knew I was going to tell somebody. I couldn't make that promise. And so I couldn't see what she was showing, what she was going to show me. So I took my mind's eye to her room, and this time I didn't say anything to her. I just observed what may have happened that night that she went missing. She did get up to go to the bathroom, and I see that it was dark, but there was a light in the distance in the house. And keep in mind, this is something that I'm not real experienced in doing. It is experimental. And this has to be looked at as something to take with a grain of salt. It isn't something I can run to the police with and say, hey, I just had a vision, a self-induced time travel of this, this, and this, because it does sound crazy. It does. But I want to share it with you guys. I want to practice doing this. You just never know what the human brain can do. You just never know. So I thought I'll give it a try. I saw there was a man and he was carrying her. And then there was an object like I don't know if it was a bag or what it was, but there was an object. It may have been a sweater or a jacket. I don't know. But I saw her in that situation. And then I kind of lost track of that. And then I began to see her in the area, at least have been in that area that I tried to draw in the video that I'm going to attach. So taking all that with a grain of salt, no one has found or seen Asha Degree. It doesn't look good. It doesn't feel good to me. I feel like at a particular time, she wasn't too far from the house. And she was in an area that felt dark to me. You know, it felt isolated to me. Also, about a year and a half after Asha was missing, and I'm not sure of the details of this, but and they found what they believe was her backpack, her book bag that had a book in it, some sort of Dr. Seuss book in it, and a boy band t-shirt in her book bag that didn't belong to Asha. Also, these items were double bagged in a garbage bag and buried. I think if you allow your intuition to think about this, to sort this out, I think we all might have it figured out. What do you guys think? I know if you've heard of this case, I know you have an opinion. You may even have some psychic or intuitive impressions of what happened to Asha Degree. If anyone has any solid information, please relay that information to the police, and I'll put the number up here or down there, wherever it ends up, and let us know. Let the police know what information that you have. And I wanted to also talk to some mothers out there and some fathers who have done the job of a mother. I don't know. That's what a father, I guess that would still be a father. I'd like to know how your Mother's Day went. If you are one that doesn't have a mother or doesn't have even a child, and what coping mechanisms can you share with us? How do you deal with that? For me, it's hard to deal with. But it's not just Mother's Day. There's many, many days that I think about my son. He was 20 years old. He was a sophomore at a university, and he lost his life to muscular dystrophy. He was very bright, very promising personality. I miss him. And I know that there are many parents out there who don't have their child. And I know you miss your child. And I know there's lots of children who don't have their mother and maybe don't have either parent. And I know it's rough. But just share the coping mechanisms that help you get through certain times, whether it's a holiday, a birthday, or just any spontaneous day that you happen to fall into maybe some sadness. I try to understand that my son was more than, his memory is more than what he suffered through. I think he would want me to think of him that way, to think of him as an entire whole person, the good experiences as well. So I make a decision to think of him in a positive way. And I know without a doubt, a part of him is still with me. That helps me to cope. So not to bring everybody down, but there are many, mothers and children who don't have each other. And that needs to be acknowledged. It needs to be talked about. And in displaying this case of Asha Degree, I understand that her parents, I would assume her parents are still trying to get to the bottom of this, and I know there's some suffering that goes along with that. And I don't mean to be accusing them of anything. I don't want to make their struggle more difficult. But this is my opinion. This is what Asha showed me, that some of these things happened to her in the house, in the bathroom in particular. And I'm not putting blame on anyone. I really don't know, but I do know what she showed me. And she wouldn't show me anymore because she didn't want anybody to know. It sounds strange, but it's true. It's what I feel. And I'm hoping that someday, really, really soon, Asha Degree can be found. And I hope she's found alive and well. It's always good to think positive because you never know. All right, you guys, I'm sending you love and light. This is tomorrow again. If you want, you can subscribe to my channel. I appreciate it. Share this video with whoever you feel you want to share it with. Comment your feelings about this, the subject of parents who don't have that joy for Mother's Day and Father's Day and other holidays, and children who don't have that joy because they don't have that parent or whatever loved one that they lost. But I'm sending you guys a special dose of love and light. Please accept it. And There's so many people out here that think about you more than what you know. You're not forgotten. Um, this is Tomorrow again, wishing you the best of the best. Thanks.